This is the 100th video for my YouTube channel, and I've learned a lot. So in this video, what I want to do is tell you about the ups and downs of what I've been through so far, and some of the things that I've learned on this over a year journey that I've been on. When I started on YouTube, I had no idea really what I was getting into. I don't think anybody does. There's no instruction manual for it. So I just had to kind of start to try to figure things out on my own. There was a lot of ups and downs with the whole process. Obviously, when you're learning something new and there's so many different things to learn with the editing and the filming and getting better on camera, doing so many different things at once that nobody really teaches you how to do. And even if they did, everybody's kind of got a different way of doing the things that they do and how they do it. If you've ever looked up YouTube advice or sought after some advice online, there's a lot of advice out there. And a lot of it doesn't seem like it's applicable to where you're at. It's kind of difficult to see, what works for somebody might not work for you. So it's tough sometimes when you're looking through all that advice, and sometimes there's conflicting advice. And a lot of these factors came into play when I was researching YouTube, and I had been wanting to do it for years, and I just never really felt like I was ready to do it. I never felt like I was worried that if I started the process that I would not continue on. I worried that I'd make a few videos for maybe a month or two and quit. So I figured if I just do the opposite of that and I don't give up at all and just dedicate at least a year or two to try this out, then of course I'm going to figure it out, right? How hard can it be? And I had a history in I had done photography for a long time, for years, and I have done it, for real estate photography and portraits and weddings. So I knew a lot about cameras, and I knew a lot about lenses and the settings and aperture and all that. So I figured, maybe the transition to video, it wouldn't be that bad. This was one of my first mistakes. A lot of the things that I underestimated was with video was really kind of what makes a video good. I didn't understand that part. So it took me probably 8 to 10 months of just posting a lot of stuff out that I didn't really know what direction I was going, and I was just kind of putting stuff out. I was talking to the camera, and a lot of stuff I was scripting or getting ChatGPT to help me write scripts for, but without any real purpose or design to it. I didn't understand storytelling at the time, and I just I feel like I spun my wheels for a long time. That first year was really a challenge, especially the first 6 to 8 months. But it was about after that time that I learned one of the first things that helped me out with getting things going kind of in the direction that I think. This is when my channel kind of pivoted from being pretty bad to being not as bad. Was I started to learn about storytelling. And in particular, I was looking at Casey Neistat, and he kind of opened me up to this different way of thinking, because his videos were very, very brash in a way where, it was just a raw thing. And so I stopped trying to be perfect with everything I was doing. And I just tried to have more fun with different camera angles and shooting differently and trying to tell a kind of a story in a way that I hadn't before. I think this was a huge pivot point for my channel, not just because I had found something that was working better for my channel, like I could see things starting to change a little bit, but not only that, but also in the fun that I was having with it. I felt like the videos were actually fun to make now instead of just monotonous and doing the same thing over and over. It it actually got my creativity going, which was huge for me because that was one of the reasons I got into or wanted to get into YouTube for a long time, was to be creative with the videos and make things that are enjoyable to make. So it was a huge pivot point in not only making better videos that people could watch better, but in enjoying that process and keeping me from burning out and dying out. After probably, a year, I might have just kind of given it up if I hadn't found a way to make it more enjoyable for myself. YouTube's really humbled me in a lot of ways and helped me to see how difficult it is, really. The good thing that I did was before I started, I didn't want to start and then give up on it after a few months. I wanted to give it a solid try. So I think one of the biggest things for success, for me at least, was when I started to dedicate myself to it and give myself at least a couple of years to give it a shot, a solid try. Like, try to learn it. There's a lot to learn. So if I wanted to be successful at it, which I do, then I wanted to give it a solid just 2 years at least and see what happens after that. I think one of the main things that I learned early on, after some failures that I had with not getting the momentum that I wanted. I looked around at some of the other creators that were in my space, and I saw a lot of them doing really well, a lot faster than I was, getting to the goals and doing the things that I wanted to do. And I compared myself to them. I think that's a thing that we all fall into, is we compare ourselves with what other people are able to do. And everybody's unique. I think everybody's got their own circumstances. Everybody learns different. Everybody's got their unique personalities, or maybe a different angle or some sort of advantage that you don't have. And one of the things that I had to learn was not to compare myself to others, but just look at my own progress and try to improve things that I knew that I could work on, and not even put myself into a category with anybody else. I think that's the nice thing about YouTube, is that you can be unique. Even if you have a lot of similarities with somebody, you bring something that's unique, and nobody can copy that. Nobody can take that from you. And that was one of the things that I learned after, I kind of learned it the hard way, but that we all have our different approaches to things. And so learning this and knowing this afterwards was tough, because I saw when you go on YouTube and you see the people that are doing good, because those are the ones that YouTube is sending to your feed. You're not going to see the ones that are not doing good, because the algorithm isn't trying to send the impressions out, and so you don't see those. So the ones that you see are mostly the successful ones, or the ones that are above average. And so that's kind of depressing and kind of frustrating with YouTube. You always feel like, at least I felt like, I was behind. I felt like I wasn't as good. And it's probably true, but I think that's the results are a little bit skewed because of you being able to see what the algorithm is pushing out to you. You don't see what they don't push out to you. So that was something I had to kind of understand too, so that I didn't get frustrated or start to lose hope in what I was trying to do. YouTube's tricky. It's probably one of the most difficult things I've done ever, or tried to do. I've had a little bit of success with it, and I had a video that got a lot of impressions, a lot of views for where I was compared to, what it did for me. I got over 1,200 subscribers, which is I'm a little over 1,500 right now. So most of my subscribers came from one video that got pushed out, and it was uh, a crazy experience. It's one of those things where, you know, I didn't really go viral as others would. There's some people that get 1 million views out of nowhere. I wasn't anything crazy like that, but the when it happened, it was still just amazing, and it was one of the coolest things, and one of the most amazing things about YouTube is the amount of people that you can reach. And, I knew that going into it, but until you experience that, until you see the comments come through where people are thanking you and saying all these things that some of them you didn't even think about, but these videos that we're making as YouTubers are affecting people's lives in a certain way, or they can, if 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 you make a video that somebody finds something in it that's valuable to them. And that feeling is just amazing, to be able to reach somebody in a way that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. I think that that's one of the reasons I got into this in the first place, was that we have this tool available to us that in no time in history before has this been something that's readily available to anybody. All you have to do is turn your phone on and and capture something, or tell something about something, or show something, or so. Everybody has something unique to share, and so when you do that and you dedicate a part of your life to being able to do that, a lot of people, including myself, get into it for monetary reasons, as a reason, one of the reasons you get into it. But when you see other reasons, when you see other benefits from it that are more than just for the money, it really pays off in ways that you never thought it could pay off for you. And it's just it's really, it's humbling, and it's exciting. There's a lot of emotions that come with it, to be honest. There's With YouTube, there's so many ups and downs that I've experienced throughout a little over a year now that I've been on YouTube. And really, I'm just getting started right now. So it's exciting to see if I had that little bump for that one video that was as far as virality goes, that was a small viral video. But, think about actually going viral, doing something that I've seen other YouTubers, my age or in my niche, or people that are really, they're unique in their own way, but they're not professionals. They're not like these Mr. Beast type people. They're just ordinary, average people that, are making an impact on other people's lives. I think it's exciting. I think it's pretty amazing to be able to do that. I'm at the point now where I have people that are reaching out to me personally for help one-on-one, because I know YouTube there's so much advice out there, but it's difficult to get that advice if it's a unique situation, or you have questions beyond what's, the generic advice out there. And I'm at the point now where people are reaching out to me to work with me one-on-one, for me to be able to help them. And it's just exciting to be able to change something for somebody else, to help somebody else in a way that I wasn't able to before. So YouTube I've learned so much, skill-wise, as to be able to produce a video better. I've got a long way to go, but I've learned so much that way. But I think the real thing that I've learned is just more about people and how to help people. And
I think that's an important part of it. I think if that's one of your motivations to do it, then there's just a huge benefit that you get from that part of it, from helping people. It's just something that you can't really describe until you go through it. But it's been humbling for me, and I've been grateful for this last year. I'm looking forward to the next year, and then the next year after that. I don't have plans to quit anytime soon, so I'm really excited. If you found this useful, this video, check out my other videos I've got, and here's one I'll put on the screen for you right here. Thanks for watching.